Hi, I'm Varsha and you're watching this video from justtutors.com. And in this video, we are going to learn about fractions. And in fractions, we are going to learn about equivalent fractions. But before moving to our today's topic, we'll try some warm-up questions. Here are the questions for you. To try these questions, you can pause the video. So basically in question number 1, you need to circle the proper fractions. So proper fractions are those fractions in which the numerator is always less than the denominator. So that means first is not a proper fraction, second is a proper fraction, third is again not a proper fraction, fourth is a proper fraction, and fifth is also the proper fraction. Now in question number 2, you need to write the following as the fraction. So as we all know that the line that separates the numerator and the denominator represents the division sign. So here the answer is 3/9. For the next one it would be 4/7. And for the next one it would be 24/36. And as you can see in all of these three fractions, the numerator is less than the denominator, so they all are proper fractions. Now we move to our today's topic, which is about equivalent fractions. So fractions which have the same value even though they may look different. That means the fraction that looks different, but eventually they are having, or you can say they are carrying, the same value. They represent the same amount of a thing, whichever we are finding the fraction for. So they look different but the value are same. So equivalent fractions of a fractions are those fractions whose numerator and denominator are in the same ratio. So that means we can find the equivalent fractions by multiplying or dividing the numerator and the denominator by the same number. If the numbers are different, that means, for an example, say it would be 1/2 here, but we times the numerator by 2 and the denominator by 3, we get a new fraction as 2/6, which is not an equivalent fraction of 1/2. Why? Because they both are not the same number. So to find the equivalent fraction of 1/2, we can do times by 2 in the numerator and times by 2 in the denominator. Now it would be 2/4. So now 1/2 and 2/4, they look different but they carry the same value. Or we can find the equivalent fraction by using division as well. So we divide by 2 in the numerator and divide by 2 in the denominator, so that would be 1/2. So we can find the equivalent fraction by multiplying or by dividing. Now we move ahead and we are going to learn about equivalent fractions by using the diagrams. So as you can see in this picture, you have been given a chocolate bar. We can consider it as a chocolate bar. Now we are having 6, 1, 2 and 3 chocolate bars. First chocolate bar is divided into 3 equal parts. Second chocolate bar is divided into 6 equal parts. Third chocolate bar is divided into 12 equal parts. Now we have colored 1 part out of these 3, 2 part out of these 6 and 4 parts out of these 12. So by looking at the picture, we can see that the amount of the chocolate in all of them is same. In the first one, in the second one, as well as in the third one. So these are the equivalent fractions as they look different but they gave us the same amount of the chocolate. Similarly here, there are 3 chocolate bars. One is divided into 2 equal parts, other one in the 4, and the next one is in the 8 equal parts. So as you can see that we timed it by 2, timed it by 2 here as well. Here it's timed it by 2 and it's timed by 2 again, since we times by the same number in the numerator as well as in the denominator, so they all are equivalent fractions. And similarly we can look at the picture, and by looking at the pictures we can see that here 1 part is equal to the 2 part of this chocolate bar and 4 part of this chocolate bar. So they represent the same amount of the quantity but with the different fractions. Similarly here you can consider this as a pizza, whereas the pizza is divided into 4 equal parts here and here in the 8 equal parts. And here the 1 part out of these 4 is same as 2 part out of these 8. So they both are also equivalent fractions, or we can check it like this, is 1 over 4 times by 2 times by 2. This will give us 2 over 8. That's why they are equivalent. Now we move ahead and we're going to find out the equivalent fractions. So it's 4 over 8, since it is being divided into 8 equal parts. So that is why 8 over here and 4 are colored out of it. So we'll color this, this, this and this. Similarly, this is being divided into 2 equal parts, and this is same as the half of 8. So we'll color the half part, so that would be 1 over 2. Or we can find it like this, divide by 2 here and divide by 2 here. This will give us 2 over 4. And we divide it by 2 again, divided by 2 again to get 1 over 2, which represents this picture. Similarly here, it's 2 part here, it's same as 1 part here, so that would be 1 over 4. Or we can find it by divided by 2 here, divided by 2 here as well. Now we move ahead. Here are some practice questions for you. To try these practice questions, you can pause the video. So as you can see that in the first fraction we are moving from the smaller number here to a bigger number. That means we need to times it by, now we need to think of by which number do we need to times 2 to get 8. So that would be 4. So by the same number we do it in the numerator as well. So that would be 4 over 8. And as in this question, you can see we are moving from a bigger fraction to a smaller one. That means we use divide. Now 4 divided by which number to get 2? So that would be 2. So it divide by 2 here as well. So the answer is 1. Similarly, you can try the other questions and you can match the answers from here. And you can pat your back as you're working really good in finding out the equivalent fractions. Thank you for watching the video. For more, please visit justtutors.com.